What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Breakdown with Bonds. I'm your host, Coach Bonds, and my mic is not even on. So if it sounds a little wonky these first few minutes, bear with me for a moment. And that is what a mic check is for. All right, we're rocking and we're rolling for real, for real. Hopefully, the audio sounds somewhat better. All right, we are talking about fake food rules that'll have you fucked up on your fitness journey. Sorry for my language if you're new here, but we like to get to the point. I love to talk about the science and the psychology that's going to help you understand your weight loss. And I like to not sugarcoat it and talk to you in a language that's going to break through so that you can, finally make that lasting change. But in today's episode, we're taking a break from the psychology of weight loss series. And today's more of like a coach chat because after reflecting and just listening to the things that my clients have been saying all week long, one of the things that I've realized, especially every time I get a new client, is that there's a lot of food noise out there. There's a lot of fake food rules that people come up with. And I've heard everything from fruit will make me fat, so I shouldn't eat fruit. I've heard that you shouldn't microwave foods because well, shit, I don't even remember why someone told me that you couldn't microwave foods, but I just kept hearing so many things over the years, and I'm like, "What are y'all talking about?" I used to do a myth busting Monday, and so today's episode is gonna be like a combination of all the myth busting episodes that we have done over the years. And if you are not already a subscriber, please do not forget to like, share this video with someone who would get some value from it, and make sure that you subscribe so you can stay posted on all of the cool topics that we'll be covering on this show. If you're a woman, I want to know her body better. All right, so let's get right into it. Where do these fake rules come from? Because they certainly don't come from science or health and nutrition professionals like myself. So these rules mainly come from diet culture and or half true science, where it's like someone did something and there was a correlation but not a causation, but because they didn't do any sort of process of elimination or they didn't put any other research into it other than, well, I did this and then boom, this happened, so this must be the result or this must be the truth, or what I'm saying, like people, bro science is what we call it mainly in like the online fitness space. So a lot of these food rules, these fake food rules that contribute to the food noise is just crap that isn't even that worked for somebody, and so they want to try to tell everybody it worked for them. Another place or another reason why there's such a prominence for these fake food rules is because the human brain loves certainty. Okay, simple rules feel safer than actually learning nutrition, and I can honestly 100% attest to this because when I get a new client, they want sometimes, like the ones that are really really like, I'm gonna lose this weight, they want rules. They want rules on rules on rules. Tell me I can't eat this, tell me I can't eat that, I have no discipline, I have no discipline. And it's like, it's not that you have no discipline, you just don't have enough education to like help understand the discipline. But that's a whole nother topic, don't get me sidetracked. Simple rules feel safer than actually learning nutrition. It's a lot easier to tell someone, don't tell your kids don't have sex, than it is to sit down and be like, hey, if you have sex too young, then you're gonna have a baby. If you have a baby, then it could, affect the rest of your life. And if it affects the rest of your life, or you could, like, there's a myriad of reasons and things to explain. So it's a lot safer and it's a lot easier to just give people concrete blank rules for them to follow. Another reason why fake food rules are everywhere is because shame based marketing, which hopefully I will have another chance to be on Jubilee soon and talk about the shame based approach to wellness. But the shame based marketing is really effective because it hits people's pain points and it will push them to buy. It'll push them to take immediate action only because it's getting rid of the pain immediately. People are always running away from pain and towards pleasure. And when you use shame based tactics to get people to change, what you're doing is people pleasing. You're manipulating them because they'll change for you or they'll buy your coaching program. They'll sign up for the gym, but no true change happened within because change doesn't come from shame. Boom. All right. What else we got here? A lot of weight loss studies were done on men, like the BMI. Like there's so many things that point to the fact that this isn't even for us, ladies. Body positivity movement is mainly about women. I'm sure it's men have benefited from it, but weight loss studies in general weren't even with us taken into accountability, especially with our hormones that differ. Our body fat percentage is just naturally higher than theirs. There's much, so many reasons why this shouldn't apply to us. That's neither here nor there. That's where these rules come from. And I'm sure you can drop in the comments where else you have seen fake rules come from, but they'll probably fall into one of those four categories. So let's jump into one that I love, right? And it's not, this has become like my lifestyle more so than a myth, but it's because of a habit, not because I don't want to. So a lot of people think that if you eat late, right, you can't eat past 6. And I'll ask my clients, like, so what happens if you eat past 6? And they're like, "Well," I'm like, "What happens? Does your body just shut down and stop digesting food after 6? How does that work? And does it know it's 6? Is it 6 your time? Is it 6, PST versus EST? Or like, how does it know?" Right? They don't usually have an explanation for why they're doing the thing that they're doing. They just have heard it repeated over and over again. But I'm going to give you some pointers. The body does not shut off digestion at night. Weight gain is due to a caloric surplus. You're eating more calories than you need. So if eating late makes you gain weight, it's probably because you already ate enough calories during the day and what you're eating at night is taking you over. Or you didn't eat anything during the day and you just went to ale house and ate a zinger mountain melt, had 4 beers, and now you've gone over your caloric intake for one day. But eating late at night doesn't magically make your body store those calories as fat. That's just not how it works. Your brain knows how to function whether you're awake or not. Otherwise, you wouldn't be breathing in your sleep. You see what I'm saying? And that is a problem for some people, and they have to get that checked on. But for the most part, your body knows how to take care of business, whether your conscious mind is involved or not, thanks to your unconscious or subconscious. But studies show that eating late only impacts your weight when you are overeating, not because of the timing. So the real issue is that if you're stressed or dysregulated or restricting stuff all day long, you're probably going to binge foods at night, or a lot of people are just munching on stuff while they make dinner and they don't realize that they have maybe taken in an additional 100 200 calories. Add that in with people that don't log food, they don't have any idea how much the food they're eating actually is costing them in calories, and boom, you got a caloric surplus, which is where most Americans are at. It's not because you ate after 6 p.m., it's because you're eating too much food, period, point blank. I think there's another reason why you shouldn't eat late, though, and it's not about weight gain. It's about indigestion and laying down too quickly after you've eaten. So, myth busted number one, eating past 6. That's a fake food rule. Please don't follow it. It'll have you fucked up and confused. And what I was gonna say is I don't eat late now, not because I'm afraid of gaining weight, but because my body just don't, like, I'm lazy after 9. I don't want to pick the fork up and put it to my mouth. I don't want to have to work for my food. I would rather just drink a shake and just call it a day or eat some finger foods. Like, that's how lazy I get at night. Don't judge me. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right, next up. But also, is there anything else I have there? No? Okay. You guys can ask me questions about the eating after 6 p.m. if that one bothered you. All right. The most popular myth that we love to hear is that carbs make you fat. Once again, we're going to return back to our main point, which is that a caloric surplus is what makes you gain weight. Doesn't matter if the surplus of calories comes from fat, carbs, protein, or all of the above. If you're eating too much of it, no matter what it is, you're going to gain fat. Carbs don't just turn into fat once you eat too many. In fact, carbs get stored in your muscles as little glycogen cells, right? There, it's energy, water, little energy bubbles of water and sugar for later. That, like, this is the most simplistic way I'm breaking it down. They get released as you are exercising. And that's why when your blood sugar drops, it's like, oh shit, we've depleted our glycogen. You may notice that energy drop or that blood sugar drop. That's why it's important to drink water while you're working out, because you've depleted water stores in your muscles. But it's also important to make sure you get some sugar in so your blood sugar doesn't drop. Or you can have a meal in between your workouts. But anywho, that's advanced nutrition stuff. Let's talk about how carbs will make you fat. Number one, carbs are your body's primary source of energy when you're training. It's your primary source of energy for your hormones, for brain function, for metabolism. Women do worse hormonally when we are on chronically low carb diets. We suffer from irregular cycles. We have fatigue. It makes your recovery worse, and it intensifies the effects of the cortisol release. Because if you're not eating enough carbs, I promise you, you will be waking up in the middle of the night because your stomach is going into shock, not shock. Your nervous system. Hold on. I got to get the order of operations right. You're hungry, so your body's waking up like, why are we hungry? So now stress is being released and it thinks something's going wrong with you in the middle of the night, when really you've just run out of nutrients in the middle of the night to do the recovery work that happens when you sleep. When you sleep, your body is recovering. Recovery is a metabolic process that requires calories to do it. Think of recovery. I have this, what's the word? I have this like image in my head, or like this visualization of my head, this idea, this image of your body during the day being like a busy restaurant. Boom, boom, boom. Sit this table, order over here, boom, boom, like it's doing all this stuff. And then at nighttime, it gets to relax and it gets to heal from the day. And similarly, at nighttime, when the restaurant closes, there's no more tables. We can clean the restaurant down. We can wipe it down. We can restore it so it looks good as new, all clean and ready for the opening crew the next day. That's what sleep is supposed to do for your body. But if you go to sleep and your body's like, hey, we're short staffed. Hey, we don't have towels. Hey, we don't have bleach. How are we supposed to clean the floors? That's what's happening late at night when you go to sleep with not enough carbs. And that's why you'll wake up. Your body's like, hey, we're trying to repair from the day. Whoa, 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 whoa. I ain't got no fuel. And I know you're thinking, why doesn't it just burn fat? And in fact, I'm going to ask it right now. Why won't bodies, and I have the answer for you, but I just want to double check since you're live. Why won't bodies just burn fat instead of burning carbs? Why not burn fat first? I know this is a question a lot of people are wondering, like, why? Why does it have to go through that? And I've given women all kinds of explanations, and I feel like they always side eye me when I tell them. So we're going to ask the internet, and I wish I could share screens with you. Here's a clean explanation. Number one, your body is wired for survival, not aesthetics. I'm going to say this again. Your body is wired for survival, not aesthetics. Your body's first job is keeping you alive, not giving you abs. Carbs are the fastest and easiest fuel source, meaning they get broken down quickly. It's easy and it's efficient. Fat takes effort to break down, which is why people have to go into a weird ketosis state to trick their body into using fat as a fuel. Your body chooses the fuel that gets you the energy the fastest, and that's carbs. That's number one. That's the way your body was designed. You don't like it, take it up with your maker, God, source energy, mother divine, whoever you talk to. Number two, carbs are quick energy. We just said that again. Fat is slow energy. Carbs break down fast, instant energy. Fats break down slow. So it's more long term energy for the day. So if you're lifting weights, sprinting, stress, thinking hard, or moving quickly, you need energy now. So your body likes carbs. That's why they store them in your muscles so they're easily accessible for later. Like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. It's a tool stored for later. Okay, so think carbs are like lighter fluid. And then think fat is like log on a fire, it's burning for a long time. You need the lighter fluid to get the fire going. But I don't like that analogy, so we're not going to use that one again. Number three, your brain runs on glucose. Your brain is 2% of your body, but it uses 20% of your daily energy. You know, when you're figuring out, like, where do all my calories go? Well, your brain takes about 20% of your daily calories. So while you're trying to starve yourself, your poor brain is like, I need fat. I need carbs. But you're like, I don't want to give you any. And so your brain's like, cool, well, I'm not going to lose weight for you, bitch. I'm just kidding. She never said that. She never said that. Or maybe she did. I don't know. And going back to this, your body prefers glucose because it's clean, it's fast, it's reliable. And if your brain isn't properly fueled, you get cravings, you get irritable, you get fatigue, brain fog, binge eating later, which leads you to thinking that eating late is a reason why you can't be great. And if you listen to this, you know that that's not where we're at. Another reason why your body won't just burn fat first. Actually, your body is burning fat. It is happening, just not how you think it is. Because fat loss isn't about what fuel you burn during the workout, it's about a calorie deficit over time. I got to say that again. Fat loss is about a calorie deficit over time. Okay. Over time. Over time. So you don't need to burn fat first. You need to create the conditions where your body has to dip into fat stores during the rest of the day. I hope that that makes sense. You have to create conditions where your body has to dip into fat stores in the rest of the day. You can't get there if you're never creating those conditions because you're always overeating. This is for people that don't want to track food and go into a calorie deficit. Your body is burning fat, just not the way that you think. All right, boom. If your body actually did burn fat first, let's think about what that might look like. Number one, we talked about how fat burn was slow. So fat burn is slow. So if your body only burned fat first, numero uno, you would faint every time you sprint because your body is trying to convert fat into fuel and it's a slow process, but you need it now. So now you're on the ground. What? You wouldn't be able to lift heavy. You wouldn't be able to run. Your cognition would tank. Your action time would be slower. Okay, your body would fail you in real world time, right? Because evolution said use the quick fuel first. So that's what our bodies have done. Save the fat for later. Okay. Fat burning happens best when you're resting and not working out. Oh my God. We have totally like taken a turn in the other direction. It's supposed to be about fat myths or food myths, but we have turned it into why your body doesn't burn fat. And I've got to change the show notes so that people know this. Fat burn happens best when you're resting. This is why I try to get people to shut their nervous systems down, to breathe, to focus on stress management, because it happens best when you're resting, not working out. During your sleep, during your workday, unless you're like, yeah, the whole workday, during low intensity movement, like a nice casual 30-minute walk on the treadmill or 15-minute walks around the neighborhood with your kids or dog, right? During any calorie deficit phase. Fat is your background fuel, not your emergency energy. So let the fat burn happen. I don't know if I like that phrase, your background fuel, not your emergency energy. Either way, let's slip with the fact that fat burning happens when your body's actually relaxed. Okay. So your body doesn't burn fat first. One, because fuel is slow. Fat burn is slow. Carbs are fast fuel. Your brain and muscles need instant energy for survival, movement, and fast thinking. Fat loss doesn't come from fat burning workouts. It comes from creating a sustained calorie deficit so that your body has to tap into those fat stores the other 23 hours of the day. I hope that we all feel like we're on the same page. We feel good, happy, cool, calm, collected, and confident about why your body doesn't burn fat first. And now we're going to get back into our main conversation about food noise and fake food rules. All right, so we're out of the fat. This is the main one that I really wanted to get for you guys, is that certain foods are good or bad. Binary thinking is what keeps you guys in these shame cycles. I was drinking a White Claw before this, and we had chicken tenders and fries for dinner. That sounds like a very shitty, horrible day to you. I'm sure you would say that, but let me tell you why it wasn't. Number one, my protein goals have been hit for the day. Number two, those fries we made in the air fryer, those are carbs. And we've already gone over why carbs are okay. Number three, the White Claw, again, empty calories, but it's carbs. It's 95 empty calories that could have been fat, but it wasn't. And it could have been extra sugar, which it is, but also we're an active person and I haven't eaten that much today. A little bit of food that I did eat involves high protein and a good amount of carbs and not so much fat. So guess what? I'm meeting my food goals. It just doesn't look like a salad and chicken breast. And this idea that eating a certain this is why it's so important for people to understand nutrition. I don't know if y'all remember the picture of the hamburger and the a salad and it had the what was it, the Scarlet Witch, and she's like, I don't understand. Hamburger, bread, salad, lettuce, tomato, bad. But over here I have steak, I have lettuce. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take those things apart. Over here they are good. Over here they are bad. It's not fucking real. It's not real. Okay? Over restriction leads to binging. When you tell someone they can't have something, they can't have something, they can't have something, the way your subconscious mind works is it's focusing on the thing. Like, you are telling yourself you can't have this, but like when you tell a toddler, don't do this, they just hear, do this. Or like a dog, don't do this, don't pee there, pee here. Okay. It's because your unconscious mind doesn't have a filter. And I've talked about this in the rest of the series. If you go back and listen to that, Psychology of Weight Loss, your unconscious mind doesn't have a filter. It just sees what you are focusing on over and over again. And if you keep focusing on can't have donuts, can't have donuts, can't have donuts, you just keep seeing the donuts in your mind's eye. Right. And so you have baited yourself by focusing on the thing that you didn't want instead of focusing on what you do want. And if you focus on not demonizing whole food groups so you can enjoy eating all of the foods when you understand how much you should have and when, oh my God, life is so much better. Oh, all right. What else we got? Mostly bad foods. Bad foods are called bad foods because of the distribution of macros. So you take something like Cheetos and you call it a bad food simply because it has a lot of fats and carbs in it and a little bit of protein. It still has nutritious value. You still need protein, carbs, and fats. You just may not need them in that distribution. So maybe it's not that the Cheetos have to be canceled all the way. It's just that maybe I shouldn't eat those very often. Maybe I should only have a few at a time. Maybe I should split the bag with my partner. Finding out how foods fit into your daily diet is one of the most freeing experiences ever. But demonizing whole food groups, like you can never have fries again, you can never have ice cream, if it's not causing you bodily harm, like you're not a lactose intolerant person drinking milk, then don't say things are good or bad. It's not going to help you restore your relationship with food if that's what you're trying to work on. All right, myth number 5, fasted cardio burns more fat. I hate this one more than I hate the fucking carbs one. Your body burns more fat during the workout, but the total fat loss is over the 24 hours. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. So during that like workout, like if there was a way to measure how much fat was burned, like sure, during that workout, uh, but nothing's changed. Like it's still the same. Fasted cardio generally tends to lead to overeating later. It works against you, and for women in particular with high stress already, all it does is just add more to everything that we described your body going through before. Like you're already under stress, you don't need to put your body under stress and have it malnourished. Number 3, people say sugar is addicted like drugs. Studies show that it's not. It feels like addiction is usually under eating. Most people are not addicted to sugar, they're under eating. And then also a lot of people confuse their hunger cravings with their food cravings, and so when they think they're hungry, they're actually thirsty. Hunger pangs growl, but like thirst, you don't usually realize you're thirsty till you have a dehydration headache. So pay attention to your hunger cues more and notice that when you think that you need sugar, you probably just need some water. I promise you, most Americans think they have a sugar addiction. I'm like, baby, you are dehydrated. Mm. Your body's usually begging for energy at that point. Okay. Um, And let me see, last but not least, if I cut this out completely, I'll lose weight faster. The truth is, as I just mentioned, when you cut off whole food groups, it usually ends up with you binging and going hard back to it like a crackhead. And I hate that verbiage, but it's literally what it is. Sustainability is going to win every single time. And that's what I've been trying to communicate when I was on the Ozempic special. That's what I hope to communicate on the body positivity special that hopefully we are manifesting, because what works for the norm is obviously awesome. You guys have found a framework that works for the norm, but most people are going to need a more personalized and tailored method to help them reach their goals, not these food noise, myths, rules, and just fake facts, if you will, that you have to follow or else you won't lose weight. What I've seen these things do over time is just cause more harm than good. So hopefully this has brought some of your like myths that you've been paying attention to. Hopefully this has brought some things to the light. Hopefully this has debunked some myths. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment on this video or just shoot me an email, because I do not bite and I would love to hear what kind of topics you want to be broken down on the Breakdown with Bonds. I'll see you guys next time.